Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrapped up a 2-day visit to Japan. And it was not just another diplomatic handshake and photo op trip. This visit delivered 3 big outcomes. 1. A stronger push for high-speed transport. 2. A new chapter in space exploration. And 3. Billions of dollars in Japanese investment for India's economy. At the center of it all, Prime Minister Modi and Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba together presented a united front, calling their partnership not just strategic but global. So, let's break down what exactly happened, why it matters, and what it tells us about the future of India-Japan ties. Let's take a look at the highlights. First, India and Japan are teaming up in space. ISRO and JAXA will work together on Chandrayaan-5. That's India's next big lunar mission, and Japan will now play a direct role in it. Second, Prime Minister Modi and Ishiba hopped on Japan's iconic Shinkansen bullet train, a symbolic ride but also a nod to India's own bullet train project between Mumbai and Ahmedabad, built with Japanese support. And third, Tokyo has pledged a massive 10 trillion yen, about $68 billion in private investments for India over the next decade. That money will target critical areas like semiconductors, rare earths, clean energy and digital technology. Prime Minister Modi called the visit a golden chapter in the India-Japan partnership. Let's start with space. India's Chandrayaan-5 mission was a global headline when it landed near the lunar South Pole. And now Chandrayaan-5 is on the horizon, and this time Japan is not just watching, it's a partner. Through ISRO and Japan's space agency JAXA, the two countries will share technology, research and resources. For India, this means more scientific depth. For Japan, it's a chance to deepen its role in lunar exploration. And for both, it's about showing the world they can compete in a field long dominated by the US, Russia and China. This also fits into a bigger story. The space race is no longer just about prestige. It's about technology, resources, and even future energy supplies. And India and Japan are betting that by teaming up, they can carve out a stronger position in the larger scheme of things. And then there's transport. The images of Prime Minister Modi and Ishiba riding the Shinkansen were not just for show. India's first bullet train project connecting Mumbai and Ahmedabad is being built with Japanese technology and financing. Prime Minister Modi even spoke to Indian drivers training in Japan for that very project, and Japan has promised to deliver its latest Shinkansen technology, including advanced signaling systems and rolling stock for India's network. Remember, it's not just about faster trains. This is about infrastructure, technology transfer, and the symbolism of Japan's most famous export becoming part of India's modernization story. But the biggest announcement? The $68 billion investment pledge. That money is not government aid, it's private capital designed to flow into areas where both sides see opportunity. Semiconductor manufacturing, critical minerals, digital technologies, and clean energy. And it's not just about machines and money. The two countries unveiled a major human resources action plan. The goal is to exchange 500,000 people over the next 5 years. And that includes 50,000 skilled and semi-skilled Indian workers going to Japan. Now, why does this matter? Because Japan is aging fast. Its workforce is shrinking. India, by contrast, has a young, expanding labor force, and it deepens cultural links beyond government-to-government agreements. Remember, India even opened a new consulate in Fukuoka, strengthening ties with Japan's many regions. Now let's talk security. India and Japan adopted a joint declaration on security cooperation. Now that basically upgrades their defense ties to a new level. We're talking joint military exercises, more naval cooperation, and collaboration on defense technology. So why now all this? Because both nations are watching the same regional flashpoints. China's rise in the Indo-Pacific, territorial tensions in the South and East China Seas, and North Korea's missile tests. By working together and with partners like the US and Australia through the Quad, India and Japan are positioning themselves as key players in keeping the Indo-Pacific free and open. Another important angle is economic security. India and Japan launched a new initiative focused on securing supply chains for critical goods like semiconductors and rare earths. They also announced a digital partnership 2.0 plus a new AI cooperation initiative as well. To cap off the trip, Prime Minister Modi and Ishiba visited a semiconductor plant in Sendai. Tokyo Electron Myogi is a key player in global chip making. For India, this visit was symbolic but also practical. It showcased how Japanese expertise in advanced manufacturing could connect with India's growing semiconductor ecosystem. With demand for chips skyrocketing worldwide, the two countries want to make sure they're not dependent on fragile supply chains dominated by others. So what's the takeaway? Prime Minister Modi's Japan visit was not just about signing deals. It was about positioning India and Japan as partners in shaping the global order, whether it's through technology, security, or people-to-people ties. The two leaders even described this as a new and golden chapter. By leaning on each other, they're hoping to find stability and strength. So yes, Prime Minister Modi's visit to Japan will be remembered for space missions, bullet trains, and billions of dollars in investment. But more than that, it showed how India and Japan, two democracies with shared history, common values, and mutual needs, are building a partnership that goes far beyond infrastructure.